is a story of how on Christmas Day 2020 at 4 p.m., I woke up to find that a DJ had actually saved my life. And yes, he was a cute DJ. But before I get to that, let's start from the beginning and take a look at how my life slowly spun out of control when I was introduced to underground parties called bush doofs. If you're too lazy to go back and watch episode 19 and therefore are uninformed about WTF a bush doof is, then this chapter is for you. A bush doof is a psychedelic rave. The name comes from the Australian slang doof doof, which references the heavy bass beats in electronic music. Think like doof, 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 doof. Bush refers to where the parties are held. Remote locations, passed around via text or word of mouth. You're given a longitude and latitude point. It's all about who you know. The bush doof emerged in the early 1990s as the free dance party movement started in Sydney's warehouses, and partygoers needed to escape the police that were being increasingly attracted to them. If you know me, you know I'm always up for an adventure. Like really, really random WTF kind of adventures. I also love to dance, so when I discovered a world in which both were combined, saving me became a useless effort. Trust me, my spirit guides have tried, but we'll get to that later. If you didn't watch episode 19, here's a recap of my first bush doof experience back in October. Basically, I was kidnapped by Spanish-speaking DJs and driven 2 hours to a paper castle in the outback, where I proceeded to float away. When I was a newborn doofer, I made some mistakes, like wearing white to a party in the red dirt outback. These are my shoes, post-bush party. I don't know what I was thinking, like, white shoes, red dirt outback. Oh. Remember my tennis shoes I put in to soak like 2 days ago? Let's have a look at them. Oh. This smells horrible. Oh my god. Whoa. I don't really know what goes where. Oh, we're pouring some of this in here too. Some detergent. I just mixed 2 different stain removals and 1 detergent. Does anyone else understand these? I will never understand what's supposed to go where. But over time, I learned some guidelines. Don't want to lose your belongings? Wear a fanny pack. Inside that fanny pack, you better have sunglasses for when sunrise comes and you're not looking cute. And a Swiss Army knife, because you just never know all the tools you're gonna need. In addition to these items, you must always pack a supply of fresh drinking water, extra medicine, several outfit changes, food, but not serious food, just refreshing food like gummies, lollipops, and fruit. I'm pretty sure my roommate always thought I was moving out every time I packed for a bush doof. To some, this may seem really unappealing. Dangerous roads that lead to locations with no cell phone service. This is like the Blair Witch Project. Someone's gonna find my phone and make a movie out of it after we're all murdered and hung up in a house.
So I don't think there is a party.
Yeah, this is insane.
Yeah, this can't be possible. This can't be possible.
I mean, it is a war bunker, so like it does make sense for it to be this remote. But to me, bush doofs represented this unparalleled freedom. I fell in love with the magic of communal gatherings, appearing and disappearing out of thin air within a matter of hours. Anything could happen. We were removed from society and its rules, and for brief moments in time, we had the power. Nothing is too ridiculous for a doof. Your imagination can run wild. Like throwing a fake wedding. This was a creative's paradise, so it's no surprise I started to show up with my camera gear to document these moments. The only one here not on drugs or alcohol, so I'm hiding out in the car to go to sleep because I've been awake for 24 hours. First, I'd work at one job for 12 hours, and then I fucking drove 2 hours to the rainforest, and I've been filming since like 2 a.m. And the last meal I ate was sushi at like 3 p.m. yesterday. And now it's like 8 a.m. today. So I liked that doofers weren't aggressive. They were always full of love, encouraging me to create. I never feared for my safety the way I would in a rowdy pub of heavy drinkers. But too much of a good thing never comes without its consequences, and I soon found that a force stronger than me was ready to teach me a lesson in slowing down. It all started on a Friday afternoon in mid-November. It was a sweltering day here in the tropics, yet when I stepped outside into the heat, I began to shiver with the chills. It was 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius that day, so I rushed to the doctor, who sent me to get a COVID test. Which was a big deal because we have 0 cases where I live and are 20 hours driving from the next big city. I went for the test and they're like, oh, okay, now you're in self-isolation until the results come. And I was like, I didn't prepare for self-isolation. Like, I don't have food, like sick foods, like all I have is salad and no one wants that. Luckily, my sickness only lasted for 4 days, and before I knew it, I was back to working 40 hours a week at my job and dancing the nights away at bush doofs. But my spirit guides decided I clearly hadn't learned my lesson and was still repeating the cycle. So suddenly, only 11 days later, I became dizzy on a Friday at 5 p.m. Yes, dizzy, non-stop, to the point that I collapsed onto the ground at work and had to go to the hospital. I've been dizzy now for 5 days. Anyways, I've been to the emergency room twice. They've run tests on me. No one knows what's wrong. Yeah, I can't explain it. It's like I feel like I'm floating, like I'm out of my body. Sometimes if I walk around like a shopping center or whatever, which I've done twice, it becomes overwhelming. And I feel like I'm gonna faint and everyone becomes blurry. Anyway. In my sleep, I've been like praying to the dance gods. I don't know. I just want to be able to dance again one day. Like, I don't want drugs or alcohol. I just want to dance. And I don't want to feel dizzy. 15 days of dizziness and 2 visits to the ER later. Turns out the cure was anti-dizzy medication 3 times a day for 7 days and lots of rest. But, much to the dismay of my spirit guides who tried to warn me, 2 weeks after my dizziness had stopped, I was back on the dance floor. It was Christmas Eve, and a massive bush doof was being held. As the night went on, the rain came down. Before I knew it, the mud was rising. One moment I was dancing, and the next I was face down in the mud, unable to get up. Pain shooting through my body, the last thing I remember is looking up at a circle of fellow immigrants surrounding me and giving them a lecture through my tears. What was my lecture on, you ask? How lucky they were to be from countries with free/affordable Medicare. I ended by demanding that no one take me to a hospital because of the expenses my American citizenship would cost me. Then, the world turned black. So, obviously I didn't die because I'm telling this story. but what I woke up to was an angel sent from the heavens, in DJ form. DJ Angel, if you're watching this, I hope you don't think this is like super psycho. Like, you already know I think you're cute, so don't act surprised. Take it as the grandest thank you you'll ever receive. Anyway, for the rest of you that are still like, WTF happened? I woke up in an unfamiliar place at 4 p.m. on Christmas Day. I was super disoriented after having been unconscious for 7 hours, but moments after my awakening, I felt a cold ice pack being put on my right leg. I looked to my left, and this tan, tattooed Argentinian DJ was tending to my swollen ankle. He had driven me back to civilization, carried my body into this hostel, and gotten me a bed, then iced me every 20 minutes for 7 hours and stayed by my side. I awoke on December 26th to screaming text messages and phone calls from my family back in the States telling me to get my ass to the hospital because so many things could be wrong, like internal bleeding. So, my DJ Angel escorted me to the ER. Here, the doctors found that I had broken my right ankle, torn the ligaments, and misaligned where the leg bone meets the foot bone. Pretty gruesome, right? Well, as for me now, I'm taking time for myself. Time to tell stories like this one, time to reflect, and time to rest. As for how a life on crutches is going, well, that's a story for another day.